Hi, good morning, Vikas sir.
Hello, good morning.
So I'm making you the host. You can start the meeting, sir.
Okay, sure. Definitely.
Yes, sir, we can continue.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Hello, guys. Good morning and happy Sunday. So today we are going to understand what we are going to cover throughout the course, what the Palo Alto firewall course all about, what are the things that we are going to cover, as well as we'll understand as a company what Palo Alto is doing, what exactly their product line. We'll understand their product line in detail, like in day one. But for now, I'll just give you a high overview. Okay. So we'll speak of firewall, how it started, how the internet got started, how the internet connectivity is right now in the world, and why we have a dependency and why the firewall is needed. All these things I'll be covering in today's session. Okay, so let me share my screen and then we'll get started. Okay, if you can just let me know, like my voice is clearer or it has some disturbance or something like that, like if anyone can acknowledge that.
Voice is clear.
Okay, fine, thank you so much. Let me share my screen. Give me a minute. Let me know once you see my screen.
Yes.
Oh, fine. So guys, what exactly a Palo Alto? We understand the Palo Alto work. Let's understand how this all started and how exactly it is working right now. Okay. So basically, we'll try to understand the evolution of an internet, how exactly the internet started and how exactly it looks like nowadays. Okay. Now it started with ARPANET, like they were exchanging the messages during the war time. So after that, they started with FTP, then Ethernet came into the picture, then internet. Internet is nothing but connectivity of a lot of PCs or network devices, right? Then worldwide, www has come, and then Yahoo, Google, then we have called as YouTube, now Instagram. Now we are moving towards the application nowadays. If I talk about Facebook, if I talk about WhatsApp, no matter what you think of, it is going basically in the app side right nowadays, right? So now as the internet is evolving, we need the firewall needs to be evolved as well. So how exactly it started and how it is getting right now and what are the control that we are having, we'll try to understand. Okay, so let me show you a picture, not a picture, basically how our internet is connected nowadays. Okay, so if you think of, if you go to the submarinecable-mapping.com, you will get the exact how the connectivity is. If you see from the India perspective, okay, now you will be having a lot of connectivity from Chennai, from Mumbai, from Trivandrum, and we have another one is Kochi. Okay, so there are so many places where our internet breakout is. Internet breakout meaning that our India traffic will be getting breakout from here and it will be connected to Europe or US or any other country in the world. So this is how the cables are basically on inside the sea and they are connected to another country. Okay, we have a lot of backups as well, but let's say if something goes wrong, our internet traffic will never reach to. If let's say something goes wrong at the data center of this place, like we have a lot of backups as well, but in case if something goes wrong at this, it will go to another like another gateway basically of India. And like if something goes wrong at this cable of India, India will never reach to basically google.com or the server which is hosted outside of India. They'll never able to get to that. Okay, so this is how the connectivity nowadays. Okay, now we'll see how the firewall get evolved during these years. Okay, now started with basically a very low level of inspection or low level of blocking, basically access list. If you remember or if you have configured access list on the firewall, like on the routers, if you remember that properly, it was access list based on source IP address and a destination IP address, right? So it will be based on that. After that, we started, there was a lot of change in this inspection. Okay, I'll tell you how the inspection works in day one. Okay, and is going, it keeps the record and allows the return traffic basically. Okay, now it moved to another UTM device, then next generation firewall. So there are a lot of evolution that is happening. Okay, that time the requirement was blocking that particular access based on the source.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Could you please increase the volume of your mic and a little bit getting low?
Sure, I will do that. Give me a minute. Okay. Is it fine now? I guess this is the volume. I guess this is the highest one, I guess.
No issues, sir. It's okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so now started with UTM and then next generation firewall, and right now we are working with next generation firewall nowadays. So before, the requirement was basically blocking those access based on the source IP address, destination IP address. Then started with something called as inspection. Now then they started understanding the UTM features, like UTM instance. It understands the antivirus, the application filtering, the other things as well, like VPN and in a single box. Then the next generation firewall. In a generation firewall, we have an option. If you want that particular model to be enabled, we can. So basically, it's a flexible way to manage the license process as well as what exactly your firewall is dedicated for. Right? So those things we can do in we'll understand the next generation firewall in detail when we go to the sessions. Okay, so upcoming sessions, so we'll be going little deeper on that. Okay, why Palo Alto? So Palo Alto, if you see the Gartner reports, if it says that the leaders and the challenges, as you can see on the screen, in the leaders, if you see Palo Alto excels, and he is the leader right now, and Fortinet and Cisco, Checkpoint. Okay, so why Palo Alto is striking, or basically Palo Alto only focuses on firewall. Okay, now you must be thinking, why checkpoint not? Okay, now we have a lot of flexibility on the side of Palo Alto. Once you understand Palo Alto, once we go to the sessions, we will be able to understand what is the difference between checkpoint and Palo, if you have worked on checkpoint basically. Okay, so why it is leader now in the market? Because you will be able to get all the information about it. Okay, so no matter based on the interface, it has a flexibility on HA side, on app filtering, on URL filtering, everywhere it excels basically. Okay, and also you have like more control on the traffic which is going from your organization to outside, or which the traffic which is coming from outside to inside as well. So you have full control as well. And once you understand Palo Alto, basically, for an example, I'll just give you an example of URL filtering, or let's say VPN. So the way you configure the concepts will remain for Cisco, Fortinet, and Checkpoint and other devices as well. Okay, only the options will be little different. Okay, so it's better, and you will be getting more knowledge if you compare Palo Alto. I'm not telling you that other vendors are not providing that much of knowledge, or they don't have any flexibility. Yeah, they do have, but in Palo Alto, if you try to understand, they are focusing on basically on the security side. Okay. Now, we'll try to understand how the architecture is of Palo Alto company and what product line they are having. Okay, so basically they have divided into 3 parts basically. Okay, now you will be seeing these 3 things. Okay, one is Tata, one is Prisma, and one is Cortex. Okay, now if you see the secure the enterprise, secure the cloud, and secure the future, right? We'll talk about data lake as well. So basically what happens is, we'll be focused on starter on this sessions, like on the upcoming session, or the course outline is basically for starter, not for Prisma and Cortex, but I'll give you a brief what exactly it is. About the product line, I'll be covering in day 1. Okay. Now, Starta basically have their own appliances. They have their own virtual devices, which you can put it in your on-prem data center. Or let's say if you have any other devices on cloud, you can put that Palo Alto firewall in that, and you can secure your cloud as well as your data center. Okay, on the perimeter side as well, you have different models that is available. You can put it and you can secure your internet parameters. Okay, now branch and the mobile. Now, what is branch and mobile? Branch is like the company branches, and the mobile which has a remote locations. There also we will be having that kind of models that is available, which supports your branch as well as mobile. With the help of those, you can it supports the 5G IoT devices and endpoint. Like they have a product, you have to have a license, then only it will get installed in your PC, and it actually observes or understands the behavior. Basically, it works as the antivirus, how it works in your PC basically, right? And our focus will be on the these starter only. Okay, now we'll move on to Prisma. Prisma is the cloud. Now cloud, if you know something about these thing, what you called as software as a service, or cloud as a service, something, you have a lot of models, right? Hardware as a service, something like that. Okay, same way they have something called as firewall as a service. Okay, so now how the connectivity will be, let's say this is your PC. Okay, and this PC will be connected to the cloud. Okay, and this cloud will be connected to your maybe your cloud network or on-prem network, whatever it is. This will be Palo Alto cloud, and it provides as a firewall service. So first you'll go to this cloud. Basically, the traffic will be flowing to this one. Now, whatever service that you are going to get, maybe authorization services, authentication services, or maybe a firewalling services. And once it does all these things, basically you will be landed to that particular application which you want to access, or the resource what you want to access basically. Okay, now that can be integrated with your lot of other application set of things, like maybe accessing some specific area of that particular app development thing, or there are so many things that you can do in that particular services. Okay, so this is where you can secure your own cloud as well. Okay, so why cloud? Basically, on the cloud, you can have a firewall services and the traffic will be moving towards that. Okay, now the last is Cortex. Now Cortex is one of the best way to analyze your network behavior. Okay, basically it has some kind of intelligence that is built if you have to get the service. Once you get the service, okay, it's a service they will provide, and it has some kind of intelligence built in that. It understands the network behavior, the traffic, the detection response, and accordingly it generates some kind of alert. Yeah, I'll come, Gaurav. Okay, so it understand, or maybe it basically generate some kind of reports or alert to notify the network administrator that yeah, this is what is happening right now, and accordingly the network administrator has to act on it. Yeah, Gaurav, tell me.
Sir, my question was that this firewall thing is, you said, divided in three parts: Strata, Prisma, and secure the Cortex.
No, the product line of Palo Alto is divided into three parts.
The product line Palo Alto, but sir, like you said that few points I need to understand again, if you don't mind, please explain.
Yeah, please go on. Yeah.
Like internet perimeter, Palo Alto, I never seen, sir. Usually we encounter as a network professional, we encounter it on hardware thing, Palo Alto firewall, but endpoint devices I have never seen. So sorry if you give it example, and this if you explain it again, Strata and Prisma, then it will be helpful for me. So.
Okay. Endpoint you are asking, like endpoint, if you have seen GlobalProtect. Okay. Now with the help of GlobalProtect, if you get the license, okay. Now what happens is, once you get the license, you can scan your own PC, as well as they have some kind of antivirus thing as well. I'm not able to remember that particular that term. Okay, so basically that needs to be installed in your PC, and it works the same way how antivirus works basically. Okay, so it provides, if somebody is getting connected with the help of GlobalProtect, if you have heard about that GlobalProtect, so scanning, it does the scanning, like kind of profiling of that particular device. It checks whether the proper window, those parameters we will be defining the firewall, and those things will be checked at the PC level, and then if those criteria matches, then only the GlobalProtect will connect and you will be able to access the resources. Okay, now whatever you have seen in the startup, okay, you are getting on basically if it is a virtual device or if it is an appliance, no matter what it is, you are owning that particular. Basically, virtual device needs to be installed on the server. Basically, in any servers, you will be running VMware or any other thing, and you will be running that particular virtual device. Okay, and also the appliance as well. But in Prisma, you don't need anything. You just need to get a service, something like the cloud, Azure, or what you call as you are not owning that particular devices, but the servers, but you have the cloud services, you are spinning up the servers, and you are paying what you are using it. Same way in the Prisma, they have a firewall services. You don't own that particular firewall, but you are using those services of Prisma. There are a lot many things in the Prisma. I'm not covering those things. I'm just giving you a high overview. Okay.
Hi, this is Arup here. So Prisma, is it like a Zscaler?
Yeah, you can say like that.
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand. So below is the laptop or desktop here. So you are going to connect to that Prisma, that cloud, and from there only it is going to internet. Is it
Yes,
correct? Okay. So, but in this process, I mean, we are like umbrella. That is also same one, right?
Yes.
Whatever you're talking about, umbrella and Zscaler, those are the cloud-based. Security.
Yes, yeah.
So suppose I want to access XYZ website. So I'll first connect to my Zscaler, umbrella, or umbrella. Actually, okay, this is a DNS some solution. I'm not sure much, but so my laptop will connect to that Prisma cloud like Zscaler, and from there only it will go out. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that is mean we are protecting our laptop, right? Or that is the, I mean, in this process that is going to happen. Is it correct?
Yeah. So basically in Azure, what you're doing, you are basically developing some kind of application, or maybe some kind of servers that you are running, or database server or AD servers, whatever it is. Same, you are not owning that, but you are paying what you are using. Same way in Prisma as well, you are not basically owning that particular virtual or that appliances, firewall appliances, but you are using. So I'm not talking about the physical devices. Okay, there are a lot more things also you can do in Prisma as well. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so physical devices will be whatever you said left hand side is strata, right? There will be physical devices in which we are going to install on our data center, right, to protect our DC. But in the Prisma, we are not installing, or not, we are not owning any device in our DC or in our right? So it will be in cloud base, and we are going to connect to Prisma from our
taking
laptop,
the service of Palo Alto.
and we are
they have their own.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Sir, internet perimeter and branch mobile, please explain it again. Second thing, sir, endpoint means we have to install that protect at our endpoint's device. Like suppose we have a laptop, that's our endpoint device. So we have to install the firewall to our this laptop, right?
Correct.
So do Palo Alto provide such product in the market? I'm not aware. That's why I'm asking.
GlobalProtect. Have you heard about GlobalProtect?
No, sir. Frankly, I'm not. I didn't heard.
So GlobalProtect is like Cisco AnyConnect. You have heard about?
Yeah. I heard about Cisco AnyConnect. I'm using it.
We have GlobalProtect in Palo Alto.
Okay. Palo Alto have the same.
And regarding the internet perimeter, like it's a perimeter, like basically it's a model. Okay, so data center have higher model. The internet perimeter has not that much of, like, maybe I can cover in day one, like I have that particular pictures, then you will be able to see that the internet parameters require this model of devices, data center requires this model of devices. According to your user data, you can choose those model. It works the same way how it works a simple appliance works. Okay, it's a term that it can like filter your, or maybe secure your data center, or maybe internet traffic. It's a model. Okay, it's not that. Yeah. Okay. Gaurav, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. Now we'll move on to Cortex. So what I was telling about the Cortex is nothing but it's a intelligence that is built off for that particular services, and also it understands your network traffic behavior and it generates some alerts, or maybe it says that it generates a report. This is how your network traffic look like throughout this week or maybe month or a day or something. Okay. And also it has automation and orchestration services as well. From there you can automate some of the things as well. Let's say if you want to upgrade, or let's say if you want to do some kind of small settings or changes, or getting some information out of that particular devices. Let's say you have 100 of Palo Alto firewall and you want to get information about the HA of all the firewalls. So with the help of automation, you can get all the information about it. Or maybe you want to change something on all the firewalls, you can do with the automation as well. Okay. Now, if you combined all these things, okay, now if you think you are securing with the help of startup, your on-prem cloud branches, remote network or endpoint. Now with the help of Prisma, if you are using, let's say there you are for some of the location, you are not buying that particular physical devices, what you can do is you can go for cloud services. And also at the same time, you can use the Cortex to automate or to get the alert out of that particular net. With that particular threat intelligence, you will be able to monitor your network. So what I'm trying to say, it's a full solution for of your data center or your organization network, basically. Okay. Now we'll try to understand that throughout the course, what are the topics that we are going to cover. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay.
How is the market for Prisma as of now? Because I could see a few things in the Naukri actually. So is it really? I mean, is it really good market? Prisma has a good market.
I guess I have my few contacts in US. They are like using Prisma in US. So yeah, it's a good one. And as you know, Starter is very good doing. And also for the Cortex one, it has to come, and it is a lot of companies are doing it. And also, I just wanted to focus one more thing as well. Even I'll tell you the Cortex thing will be a lot of companies adopting it and also doing it as well. Okay.
So is it completely automation? Like, we don't need to configure the policy manually. We used to configure manually, right? So this is the completely automation, or how is it?
Yeah, so it is more compatible with the Palo Alto devices, and also it I'm not sure whether it supports the other vendor automations as well, but it is a in-house. It supports. It's very much compatible with the Palo Alto devices. Okay. Now we'll understand what is data lake. Okay, data lake is nothing but it's a cloud services. Now let's say you don't have any internal log services, so you can get that particular log services from your Prisma, from your Cortex, from your Strata, everything. You can get the logs from data lake. Now you have to get a service for data lake where you can dump all your data in this. Okay. So those services is also available. Okay, it is flexible and it has all the solutions, whatever you need for basically enterprise network. You have basically all the solutions. Okay. Now we'll understand how we are going to go through that particular courses and what are the topics that we are going to cover. Fine. Okay. So now how the Palo Alto product work together, basically we'll try to understand the security component, the firewall component, the packet flow, and there is a fundamental feature which is management plane and the data plane. Okay. So now let's say if something going into Palo Alto firewall, okay, how it is getting processed, whether the NAT is happening before, whether the access list is or the policy lookup is happening before, how we are going to control those packet flows, everything we are going to see. Okay. Now let's say if somebody asks you that if the traffic is moving towards Palo Alto firewall and you have enabled App-ID or antivirus, whether what would be the problem, where would be the problem when this process has been completed with the help of packet flow. Okay, till NAT it is fine, till policy lookup it is fine, okay, App-ID fine, and after that, okay, in SSL inspection there is a problem. Okay, by debugging and basically debugging and packet flow, when you are going to check both, then only you will be able to understand those things. So it will be very, very helpful to troubleshoot anything, packet flow. Okay. Now differentiating the management interface and the data plane interface. Oh, sorry, management plane and the data plane. So management plane, why it is used, data plane, why it is used. If we basically, if something goes wrong at the management plane, your production traffic will not be impacted. If something goes wrong at the production traffic, at least you will be having access to Palo Alto firewall to maybe refresh it, the session, or delete the sessions, or whatever you wanted to do, you can do it at least. Okay. Either way, at least your management plane is not working in some ways, at least your production traffic will not get impacted. In business hours, you can do some kind of maintenance things. So either other way, that is the reason the management plane and the data plane has a different role, as well as that is the reason they are different to each other. Yeah, go on, Gaurav.
Sir, could you explain management management plane and data plane? I'm not aware with management plane and data plane.
Yeah, I'll come to that in a detail, but yeah, I'll give you a high overview. No worries about it. So let's say this is the device. Okay. Now the device is, I'm just configuring as management and the data. So let's say if you are going to SSH or accessing the GUI, or let's say if you want to access run the routing protocol, all those things that will be happening on the management side, management plane. Okay. And the traffic which is going through, where the policy lookup is happening, where the NAT is happening, all these things will be happening at the data plane. Okay. And it has a different set of RAM, CPU. The management is also having RAM, CPU, and all those things. So we'll
in the same device, sir.
In the same device, yeah. I'll show you with the picture. I'll show you with those information. You don't worry about it. Once we go to that particular session, we'll understand in a very detailed manner. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No worries. Okay. Now the Palo Alto is so flexible that it actually have different types of interface, which can be useful where you have different conditions or different scenarios. Okay, you can configure that particular interface as L2, meaning that it supports your switching capabilities, not much but limited. It understands your layer 3 interfaces as well, where the routing is needed. In the same device, you can do both as well. And vWire, if you want to make the Palo Alto firewall as stealth firewall, like nobody knows what is happening, okay, you can configure those as well. Tap interface, you can basically have sub interfaces, okay. You can have tunnel interfaces. We aggregate, you can bunch, or maybe you can put two interfaces as a one interface. Okay. Loopback interface, you want to check that particular the device is up or not. Basically, loopback devices are like, anyone knows what is loopback, why we use loopback? Okay, fine, no problem. We'll cover
There is
that.
a logical interface basically to check the device whether it's working or not. Is basically if our device is cut out from WAN, even that loopback interface will work for us.
Yes, yeah, basically to check that particular device is up or not, or whether it's a problem with the interface or it's a problem with the device. Okay, fine. So we have decrypted mirror interface, we have VLAN interface, we have internet interface management. So basically, who can access that particular management interface, who cannot access, SSL, TLS profile, and some kind of our management initial configuration. So whenever you get a fresh device, what are the initial configuration that you have to do from the CLI? Those things we are going to cover as well. Okay. Now, this is what we have talked about: the management configuration, the SSL profile, and the management, the initial configuration that we have to do use it. Okay. Now, when you design a network, whether you have to put it as a HA mode, whether you have to put it as layer 2, how and what you have to think, what are the scenario or what are the organization is telling you, accordingly you have to plan it, right? So whenever you want to go for HA interface, what are the criteria that needs to be filled and why you are going to put as HA deployment. So if a user is asking you or your customer is asking you that we have to implement HA, you have to ask why HA. What is the, how critical the site is, why you are putting, whether any application which is very critical for your organization or something like that, or it's a productivity issue. So you have to understand that. Okay. So those criteria we are going to understand. Okay. Zero touch provisioning. So basically, without any configuration, how you can implement the Palo Alto firewall. It's the Palo Alto firewall is in how you can do that. Configuring the bootstrapping as well. So with that script, you can do that. Okay. Now, when you are configuring HA, how, whether you want to do a link monitoring, the link is up or not, you want to monitor that, or path monitoring. So let's say if you are going to reach, whether you want to monitor the internet, right? So path monitoring will be basically helpful. Okay. Now HA link, okay, you have basically some kind of what there are few types of HA link that is there that we are going to understand: the failover, active passive, and HA interfaces. Basically, this is the one, and you want to do clustering or how the election settings will be passive, and which you want to in active scenario, which or devices you want to process the traffic basically. Okay. So all these things we are going to understand. Now, deploying and configuration security profile. So security profile is nothing but it's a application URL filtering, right? And your antivirus, and there are so many other things as well. Okay. So in security profile, you will have like more control on the traffic which is flowing through the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, now you understand that in application, if you have facebook.com, like in that particular facebook.com, if you want to control the chats or if you want to control the games, you can also do that. So it understands how the Facebook works, it understands how YouTube works, it understands that how WhatsApp works, it understands basically all those. Okay, and also the URL as well, as the file type as well. The file type works like whether you want the device or the user wants to download the PDF file or exe files, you can block those, you can understand. Okay, there are so many things that you can do with security profile. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, let's say if the user is trying to go to internet, you will be having some set of security profiles. Like if somebody is going on internet, okay, these are the URL filtering, these are the antivirus, these are file blocking, these are the app ID. Okay, if somebody is going to our partner site, these are the restrictions. Okay, if somebody wants to go to third-party vendor site, these are the things that you can do. So you can have a security profile as per your traffic flow as well. Okay, which we are going to discuss, and we have so many other things. That is the reason it takes more time to understand. Okay, now configure authorization, authentication, and device access. It is based like when you are accessing Palo Alto firewall, how you can do that. Okay, now in your organization there are levels. Okay, L2 engineers, L1 engineers, and L3 engineers basically. Okay, now L1 will be having some kind of they have the read only, because they can only see those information, they cannot modify, because okay, now L2 will be having little changes like changing the IP address, implementing the rules and all. Now L3 will have the full control. They can do debugging, they can do troubleshooting, in-depth troubleshooting. They will be basically root access of that device. Okay, so you can do that, as well as you can authorize. This is how you are going to authorize those users. Now there is authentication method. You can use TechAx, you can use LDAP, you can use Radius, and there are so many other things. And local as well. Okay, now you will be having sync to that, like somebody, if the device is not reachable to the Radius or LDAP or TechAx, the local will be basically, if you have local, then it will authenticate the local. Okay, now basically when you think about the certificate, the Palo Alto works, or it will be configured as a PKI server. Okay, what is PKI server? It actually converts, or maybe once the certificate is, you can generate your own certificate. Okay, and you can particular certificate. What I'm trying to say is, when you want to have your own certificate inside your own organization, it does all the things. You can make that particular Palo Alto firewall as a root certificate, it issue certificate, and it basically you can manage those certificates. Or maybe you can get a certificate from outside, maybe outside vendor. You can buy that particular certificate and you can install that particular certificate, and you can generate those certificate, or maybe authorize those certificate as well. Okay, so whatever you have those power to do in the certificate, you can do it from Palo Alto firewall as well. Okay, now dynamic the routing configuration, you can also do it. The dynamic configuration, the RIP, the OSPF, you can configure it. You have a read distribution, like if you want to redistribute from BGP to OSPF, BGP to RIP, also do that. You option to configure the static routes, the route monitoring. If you want to do a route monitoring, you can do that. you can have option of policy-based forwarding. Virtual router, you will be having, you can create different virtual routers inside Palo Alto, which we will be seeing. Okay. Now remember, guys, whenever you think about routing, okay, Palo Alto is a expert of security, not for routing. It has some kind of limitations as well, but it supports most of the things. NAT, network address translation, we are going to. So whatever NAT that you are seeing in the real world, it supports all type of NAT, basically. All the NAT, the policy NAT, the static NAT, the source NAT, the destination NAT, the policy NAT, U-turn NAT, all, even it supports the some kind of load balancing NAT as well, which we are going to see in the session as well. I'll show you. Okay. Configuring site-to-site VPN. So site-to-site VPN is nothing but the VPN between one site to another site. You will be having policy-based site-to-site VPN. You can have route-based, GRE, everything it supports. Okay. Now you have a static peer or dynamic peers. You can establish the IPsec VPN. You can monitor the tunnel. You can do the tunnel testing as well. One-to-one, one-to-many tunnels, and proxy ID, everything. Okay, GRE as well. So I'll be covering in a detailed when we have a session. Yeah. Now configuring the service routes. Service route configuration, meaning that basically when you have a Palo Alto device, all your traffic will be going through our interface, which is our management interface. Or your LTAP traffic, all your radius, TechAx, DNS, all the traffic by default, it will go via management interface. So you have to change that particularly. Let's say your LDAP will not be reachable via management. If it is reachable by LAN 1, then you have to route it to LAN 1. Okay, so that is called as change in the service route. This is what the service route is all about. Okay. Now we have something called as application-based QoS. So if you want to provide some kind of quality of service to any application, let's say your company is using Teams or your company is using Zoom or WebEx, whatever it is, you can basically configure quality of service for that particular application, and you can monitor the bandwidth for those. Maybe YouTube much required instead of they require WebEx or any other application. Okay, so you can configure the QoS profile for that particular application as well. Configuring the app ID. So basically we'll give you an overview of app ID, basically what it is. App ID is not, it's a signature. Okay, for an example, if I'm talking to you, okay, if I'm talking to you, meaning that I am talking in English, you guys are able to understand that. Or if I speak in some other language, let's say for if I talk to you in Hindi, somebody will understand, somebody, right? So this signature is what? The language. Here also, the way the application talks to server. Okay, if this user is talking to Facebook, there is some kind of way that it connects to Facebook server, then it from the say Facebook server. So the communication that is happening between the user and the Facebook, there is some kind of what you called as some kind of exchange that is happening. There's some kind of traffic exchange that is happening. So it analyzes all those communication and understand which application the user is trying to connect. And as per that, controls that particular traffic. Okay. Maybe if you want, you can create your own app ID. Okay. In-house, somebody has built an application from your software guys have built an application. Okay. So those applications basically will be explained by the app to you. You can create your own application ID and you can implement it rule as well. Okay, that flexibility you have in Palo Alto Firewall. Okay, so this is what it is about the GlobalProtect. GlobalProtect is nothing but a remote solution. The user who is traveling outside the world or doing a lot of businesses, not staying in office, if they are marketing or this, and at the same time they needs to be connected to company resources. For us as well, if we want to work from home, we require that we will be working from home. So for some kind of situation as well, for that reason we have a solution from Palo Alto which is known as GlobalProtect. Okay, so with GlobalProtect, you will be connected to GlobalProtect server, and after that you'll be using the resources of the company, and then you can log out or maybe you can sign it out. Okay, now you will be having more control when you have host information protocol. Basically, it retrieves the information about, it does the profiling, it retrieve the information whether antivirus is installed or not, whether that particular machine is having compliant or not. So those things it has, then only basically the particular endpoint or that particular device gets connected to the GlobalProtect network, or they will be able to access resources. Okay, it has split tunneling and we have multiple gateways, agent profile as well. So we'll talk about that as well in a detailed way. Okay. Configuring decryption. Why decryption is required? Let's say you have a user who is going to the Palo Alto firewall, okay, or he's reaching to internet, or maybe some kind of, now Facebook, Yahoo, Google, or YouTube, these are all well-known servers. The user is going to some other website, and those websites are active. You will not be able to see what user is talking to the server and what server is talking to the user. What information they are exchanging, we are not sure about it. To see that particular information, we have called as the decryption we are going to perform over there. Okay, so to understand, we have to do decryption, and if something goes wrong, or if the Palo Alto firewall sees that there is some illegitimate traffic, in that case, it basically stops from that. Now, Wildfire is nothing but it's a analyzing of a file. So basically, if somebody wants to send a data outside of your organization, or you want to download something, or you want to send some data, in that case, what happens? Let's say you have downloaded some PDF file. Okay. Now in Wildfire configuration, you define that one. You see, you do analyze of that particular PDF data, something like that. So that particular data will be basically, if you have your own blade, it actually checks in the Palo Alto firewall itself. If you have Wildfire appliance, it sends that particular file to appliance. Or if you have cloud services, it sends the information to the cloud. Now the cloud or in the appliance, it analyzes that particular information, and if it observes suspicious activity, is that block that particular data, or if it sees, okay, that's fine, it will allow the data basically.
So this is that app, whatever you said,
Okay.
app, a
So
double P.
these, yes, yeah.
Yeah, right hand side you drawn that AP, right? AP means is it a physical appliance?
It's appliance. You will be, for Wildfire, you have a physical appliance as well as you have cloud services. And in Palo Alto Firewall, you have your own blade as well, like Wildfire license also is there.
Okay, what is the base license? The base license in Palo Alto? Is it a Wildfire license?
In the base license,
What is called?
I guess I have to. Sorry, what was that?
No, what is called? I mean, actually this is the interview question. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, you will
What
be
is the base license of Palo Alto and what is the name?
It's a base license only, and after that you will go for I guess it's a full feature license, and it is the base license, one is a full feature license. So in full feature you will get all this, and in the base license you will get, I guess, URL filtering, or you will be getting the firewall features and VPN, I guess. That's all. And to get the Wildfire license, you will be having a full feature license where you'll get the Wildfire and SD-WAN and so many other things as well. Okay. And this is all about Wildfire now. Okay. Now we'll move on to Panorama, because we have already covered in the sessions. If you've seen that, we have already covered all those things about what we are going to see in Palo Alto Firewall. Now in the Panorama, the Panorama is nothing but it manages your firewall. So if you have more than 10 devices or more than that, so by sitting at one location, you will be able to deploy the firewall policy or upgrade the firewalls, or there are other things, sending updates. There are so many things that you can by sitting at the Panorama itself. Okay. So how we are going to create the template stack in Panorama, we are going to see that basically. So let's say from Panorama, if you want to deploy some policy on some set of firewalls, you can do it with the help of template or device group. Okay. So the next will be the device group. Okay. How we are going to configure the device group, what is the relevancy of that particular device group, how we can do that. What is the cases of pre-rules, local rules, default rules, post rules? Okay.
Okay. Will you cover Panorama
is the
also?
Impact of conflict? Yes, we are going to cover the Panorama as well. Okay. Now, managing the firewall configuration within Panorama, the backup, how we can get the logs, how we are sending the software or dynamic updates, how to check the health of that particular firewalls, and also licensing, as well as if something goes wrong at the firewall, how you can troubleshoot. Yeah, go on, Gaurav.
Actually, I'm from networking background, so it would be better if whenever you Panorama, like keywords like Panorama and Wildfire, if you explain these keywords as well, because I'm not aware with these things, so it will be helpful for me to understand.
No worries. I will be explaining once we go into the sessions. For an example, if you go for a session for App-ID from the scratch itself, you just need to understand how the TCP handshake works, what is the source IP, and I'll be taking from there. No worries about it. Okay. And also, you will be having how to manage those logs. If you want to get the logs, how to generate the logs, how to create the, okay. So if the user or organization is somebody is asking for HR team or any other team is asking for reports that this user is what he's doing this month, okay, because you can integrate the users into Palo Alto Firewall, okay. So basically, with the help of username, you can retrieve what he has done, what is the highest website he has visited, all these reports, and forwarding that particular log. So no firewall will send all the logs to your Panorama. Okay. So basically what happens is you will be sitting at Palo Alto, okay, and let's say you have multiple firewalls, okay. Now user has reported that, yeah, I am not able to access something. With the help of you are going to log into Palo Alto Firewall, search for whatever the user has provided. You will get to know about whether that particular traffic is allowed or not. It is getting blocked from the which firewall, because you have like 10 firewalls. Now you can, if you are not sure about that which branch, which location has which subnet, it will be too difficult to find it out, right? So by sitting at Panorama, at least you will get to know that which firewall is blocking that particular connection, or you can say go back to the user that because of this firewall is blocking, maybe you have to raise a firewall request to allow that, or maybe if it is getting allowed, you have to check at the destination end, something like that. So those things I'll be covering it, that how in the real time, how logs will help you, and how you can generate the reports and you can send it or share to user as well. Okay, now with the Palo Alto Panorama, okay, how you are going to basically upgrade the device with a single, when it is HA pair, how you are going to, and how you are going to perform it from Panorama as well, okay. Now dynamic update is nothing but your antivirus URL filtering updates. So how you can schedule that and how you can push that from Panorama, and if it is a single device, how you can deal with those updates. Those we have to see. Okay, now we'll come to troubleshooting. So how the classes will be. Now let's say when we start a topic, we'll understand the concept first, okay, try to configure those labs, and then we'll go for troubleshooting. Like in the lab itself, I'll be doing a few of the things, so that during the time of when you configure or when you stuck somewhere, what are the information that you have to look for. And in the real-time scenario, I'll be explaining about the real-time scenario. In the real-time scenario, how those concept basically applies, or what are the issues that has come, and what are the information that you have to look for. So in the troubleshooting section, I'll explaining those as well. Okay. So in side-to-side when we have IP-SARI, in routing based, and many tunnels and tunnel monitoring, how you can do that. Okay. Troubleshooting the interfaces, in the settings, what you have to look for when you do a packet capture, what are the information that you have to look for, aggregate interface, LSCP, all those troubleshooting, I'll be explaining it. Routing protocols, or we can say that it will be useful when you configure the routing in Palo Alto Firewall. Okay, it's very, very important that you troubleshoot as well, because when your routing is not happening properly, the traffic will never reach and your security will never work, basically. So you have to route it properly from whenever the traffic enters into the Palo Alto firewall, it has to exit to a right interface so that the traffic should reach. Okay, so routing is also play a very, very important role as well. Okay. Yeah, that's what when you use the logs, reports, or a graph, this will be useful to have bandwidth utilization, or if you want to get a report, or you want to share some kind of report to your manager or something like that. So how you can do that, you will see as well. Yeah, the troubleshooting the GlobalProtect if the user is not able to log in, or if something goes wrong is happening, to do a share, how to access, how the split tunneling works. The traffic is if the user is not able to access the resources, what are the things that you have to look for in the client side, what needs to be done, all these things. Okay. Trouble okay, NAT policy, authentication policy, and encryption policy as well. Okay, if the NAT is not happening, whether we are putting a right policy, whether the policy hit is properly or not, how to check that, whether the decryption policy is happening properly, whether whatever decryption policy that we have created, whether it's happening properly or not. We are going to see. Okay, yeah, this is very, very important, guys. When you are configuring HA, how you are going to monitor and what are the failover trigger as well. So you have to know that whether the path will get triggered or the interface will get triggered, will be seeing that. Like whenever the passive will become active and the active will become passive. Basically, that failover trigger meaning that. Okay. So these are the points that I'm going to see in the sessions. And if you have monitor closely, so we are going to the configuration concept, Panorama configuration concept, and troubleshooting as well. So this is the complete understanding of the topic related to Palo Alto or related to Panorama we are going to cover. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. And if you are going for some kind of interviews, course or this session will be really, really helpful for you guys. Okay. And also I just wanted to know let you know about one more thing, that this is a weekend one, so it takes more time to complete the course. Okay, so it's a 40 hours course. Okay, every day we are going to take 2 hours or more than that, okay, to complete it. So you can calculate it, how long it will be taking it. Maybe it goes more than 2 months or something. So what is what?
So I mean, every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, only two hours we can count, right?
Yeah, maybe 2 hours or more than that.
I mean, per day 2 hours mean 2 days 4 hours.
Yeah.
So it will go 40 hours mean it will go up to 10 weekends.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like 2.5 months, like that it is.
Yeah, 2.5 months. So I got the access for lab for next 17th of June on class. And there, I think you are going to help me to set up the lab. And one more thing I would like to know, I would like to set up the lab in my laptop also. So will you help me to how to set up, or from where I need to download the this Panorama of VM setup?
Okay, Arup, right? So
Yeah.
So basically, setting that particular in your PC, I guess we have lab, like rack is already there with networking, so we'll be focusing on that. But in case of if you're setting up locally, maybe you can go to YouTube. There are a lot of videos that is there. You can set it up. But if you, in case if you are getting some kind of issue, I can help you with that.
Yeah, because see, this lab will be available for I think maximum 3 months. So what happened? I'm working, so I don't think I will. I can in practice regularly. So after 3 months, that's why I need. I want to set up in my laptop also or my system also, so that at least I can whenever I want to practice, so I can practice it. Fine. Anyway, I just need a basic guidance how to set up. I know about the events already. Just I know I want to know how to set up and how to from where this file need to download and rest of the thing I think I know already. I already did it for some other firewall. And second thing, so will you help me how to set up? How to install in AWS also, or any guidance for AWS, the Panorama.
AWS, again, Networkings has a video which is very, very detailed. Maybe if you are during class.
Okay.
I'll put that particular URL to you, or maybe somebody from Networkings, they can provide you that particular link. It will be very, very helpful. You can set it. There is nothing that even it's a very, very simple way to set up. I have did it. So
in AWS, right?
It is in Google Cloud. In AWS, I guess I need to check, but in Google Cloud, you will get that particular extra money with you, like the free. When you sign up, you'll get, I guess, $200 or $300. You can use that particularly. Okay. But in AWS, I guess that will be chargeable.
Oh, okay. Anyone is fine for me to understand how it is. How can we set up the firewall in AWS or Google Cloud also? And I think PPC or how to. It will be behind a PPC only, right? Or fine. I'll ask all those things in class.
Yeah, Gaurav.
Sir, I did my CCNA from Networkings as well. So we got a study material from there as well as notes. So my question is the same, that we got the study material and notes during the classes from the starting or in the mid of classes. If we get it in the starting, like me, as I told you, I am not from security background. It will be helpful to go through the notes and the book as well.
Okay, so I'll be sharing all the slides to you guys. Okay. So what are slides that I have? It will be accessible via portal. The Networkings, I guess they will be able to tell you, and you will find all the slides related to all the topics. You will be able to study that. Okay. I was finding a book. There is no much book that is available for Palo Alto Firewall, but yeah, we have a study guide that is available. I'll be sharing during the session as well, or you can go on internet and you can download it. So it is available freely. You can go PC and SC study guide. Okay, so you can download the latest one. If you go here, yes, January 2023, and you will be having those study guides as well. Okay, so maybe you can study this. It will be helpful for you. So you can go and wait. And I guess slide and the study guide, or else if you want more information about it, maybe you can go for admin guide. So admin guide Palo Alto. So the admin guide, what you are going to get, it is for firewall is different, and for Panorama it will be different. It will be a very, very kind of it's a huge document, basically. So you can go for 11 or 10, whatever you think that is suitable for you. You can go for that and you can download. It is also available online.
You are going to cover administrator and engineer both in this class, right? In whatever is there, syllabus.
And both,
Yeah,
both the syllabus.
administrator and engineer, both you are going to cover, right?
Yes. Both. Yes, yeah.
What's the difference between study guide and admin? I mean, admin is more advanced.
It is having more topics. It is not, if you think in a way, it's a very advanced, but it comes with more topics as well as some troubleshooting. So that is the reason.
Okay, sir, thank you.
What was that? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. What was that? Okay, fine. I guess we are good with the session. So thank you so much for joining today. I guess Gaurav, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Over to you, Gaurav. I'm done with the sessions and the FAQ. So you can take over.
Yeah, so guys, we will be going to start the batch from next weekend. Okay. And the timing, as Vikas sir has already discussed, so that will be at like 10 a.m. Okay. So definitely, if you have any queries, you can get back to the team, and we will be more than happy to assist you for that. Okay.
Okay, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., right?
That's
Next
right.
Saturday.
That's right.
Okay, fine.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.